You may be qualified, but your resume can still get ignored if the match is hard to see in the first few seconds. A rejected resume does not always mean you lack the skills. Often, it means the resume made the recruiter work too hard. Your experience is in there, but it is buried under vague duties, old job titles, and bullets that do not clearly connect to the role. Picture the recruiter opening a stack of applications for one role. They are not reading like a teacher grading an essay. They are scanning for evidence. Does this person seem to solve this job's problems? Do they have the right tools? Have they done similar work before? This is why strong candidates disappear. They have the background, but the resume describes the past instead of proving the fit. The hiring team is looking for a bridge between your experience and their job description. If you do not build that bridge, they may not build it for you. A resume is not a full career biography. It is a matching document. Its job is to make a specific reader say, "This person has handled work like this in an environment like ours with results we care about." That is much more focused than listing everything you have ever done. A generic resume feels safe because it covers more ground, but to a recruiter, broad often looks unfocused. If your resume says you are experienced in operations, communication, leadership, strategy, analysis, and support, the reader still has to guess what job you are actually built for. The question is not, am I impressive? The question is, can a busy stranger quickly see why I belong in this interview pile? That shift changes how you write every section. You stop trying to sound generally strong and start making the job match obvious. Most resume bullets fall into 3 levels. The weakest level is duties. A stronger level is achievements. The most useful level is role fit evidence. Understanding the difference can fix a resume faster than changing the font, template, or summary style. A duty says what your job required. For example, managed customer accounts, created reports, supported team projects, handled scheduling, or worked with stakeholders. These are not useless, but they mostly describe the job description you had, not the value you brought. An achievement adds proof. It shows what improved, changed, grew, sped up, reduced, clarified, saved, or prevented because of your work. The reader learns not just what you touched, but what happened after you touched it. Role fit evidence goes one step further. It connects your achievement to the exact work this new role needs. It uses the employer's language when accurate, names the tools or processes that matter, and shows proof from your past that predicts performance in their role. Suppose you are applying for a customer success role. A duty says, managed client accounts. An achievement says, improved renewal conversations by creating a follow-up process. Role fit evidence says, managed 30 client accounts and built a follow-up process that helped reduce missed renewal actions. If this kind of practical job search breakdown is useful, consider subscribing. This channel focuses on the parts of hiring that are easy to misunderstand, like resume evidence, recruiter screens, LinkedIn visibility, interviews, referrals, and career change proof. When someone reviews your resume, they are usually comparing it to a role. They may look for required skills, similar responsibilities, industry context, tools, seniority, and signs that you can perform without a long ramp. Your resume should help them check those boxes with confidence. Many applicants blame applicant tracking software for every rejection. Software can store, organize, and help search applications. But the deeper problem is often the same for software and humans. If the right words and evidence are missing, the match becomes harder to find. Keywords matter, but keyword stuffing is not the solution. If the posting asks for Salesforce, forecasting, stakeholder management, and onboarding, do not just paste those words into a skills section. Show where you use them, what you did with them, and what changed because of that work. Here is a weak bullet, responsible for cross-functional communication and project coordination. It sounds professional, but it gives the reader almost nothing to verify. What kind of projects? Who was involved? What was coordinated? What improved? What job requirement does it support? Here is a stronger version. Coordinated weekly updates between product, sales, and support teams during a billing migration, helping resolve client issues faster and keeping account managers aligned on next steps. This is still simple, but now the reader can picture the work. The stronger bullet gives context, players, action, and outcome. It tells us the environment was cross-functional. It names the business situation. It shows the candidate organized communication for a real operational need. That is evidence, not decoration. Numbers can make evidence clearer. They can show volume, frequency, scale, time, money, quality, speed, or scope. But do not invent numbers. If you do not have exact metrics, use honest scale. Say, supported 8 managers, reviewed monthly reports, or handled requests across 3 locations. If your job did not track formal results, look for practical proof. Did you reduce confusion? Did you make a process easier? Did you prevent errors? Did you train people? Did you handle sensitive situations? Did you become the person others trusted for a recurring problem? Another common issue is a summary that says too much and proves too little. For example, results-driven professional with strong communication skills and a passion for excellence. That could describe almost anyone in almost any role, so it does not help the reader place you. A stronger summary names the target lane. For example, operations coordinator with 5 years of experience improving scheduling, vendor communication, and internal reporting for multi-location teams. Experienced with Excel reporting, service requests, and deadline tracking. Now the reader knows where to put you. Sometimes your title does not match the work. Maybe your title was associate, specialist, coordinator, analyst, or manager, but the actual tasks were broader or narrower. Do not change your title dishonestly. Instead, use bullets and a short context line to make the real scope visible. Another reason resumes get ignored is internal company language. Your old employer might call something a client health review, a pod sync, a delivery huddle, or a service excellence tracker. If outside employers use different words, translate your experience into the language of the market. Tailoring does not mean copying the job posting line by line. It means noticing what the employer cares about and choosing the most relevant proof from your history. If the role emphasizes reporting and process improvement, your resume should not lead with event planning unless that is the strongest match. Recruiters read top-down. The first half of the first page carries a lot of weight because it sets the frame. If your best fit evidence is buried under older jobs, generic skills, or unrelated achievements, the reader may never reach it. Look at the top half of your resume and ask, if someone only saw this section, would they know my target role, my strongest relevant skills, and the type of problems I solve? If the answer is no, your resume may be accurate but poorly aimed. Career changers have an extra challenge. The reader may not automatically connect your old field to the new one. You need bridge evidence. Show the parts of your past work that resemble the new role, such as analysis, client management, documentation, training, operations, compliance, or technical tools. A weak career change resume says, seeking an opportunity to transition into project management. That explains your desire, but not your proof. The hiring team does not hire desire alone. They need evidence that you have already done pieces of project management, even if your title was different. A stronger version says coordinated timelines, vendor updates, and issue tracking for office relocation projects across 3 departments. That sentence does not beg for a chance. It shows transferable project work in plain language the new employer can understand. If you have a gap or layoff, do not let the resume become defensive. The main job is still fit. You can address dates cleanly, but your bullets should return quickly to evidence. The reader needs to understand what you can do next, not only what happened before. Now here is a 10-minute audit you can do today. Open one job posting you actually want. Open your resume beside it. Do not rewrite everything. Your goal is to find where the match is visible, where it is hidden, and where it is missing. For the first 3 minutes, highlight the job posting. Mark the repeated skills, the required tools, the main responsibilities, and the outcomes the role seems responsible for. Ignore nice-to-have phrases at first. Focus on the work the hired person must clearly be able to do. For the next 3 minutes, scan your resume for direct evidence, not claims, evidence. If the posting asks for reporting, find the bullet where you built, reviewed, automated, presented, or improved reports. If you only list reporting under skills, that may not be enough. For minutes 7 and 8, rewrite 2 weak bullets. Start with the task, add the setting, name the tool or audience if relevant, then add the result or purpose. Keep it honest. You are not trying to sound bigger. You are trying to become easier to understand. For the final 2 minutes, check the top half of page 1. Move the strongest role fit evidence upward. Make sure your summary, skills, and first few bullets point toward the same target role. If they point in different directions, the reader may hesitate. Avoid 3 common fixes that feel productive but do not solve the real issue. Do not keep changing templates while the bullets stay vague. Do not add more adjectives to sound impressive. Do not send the same resume to every role and hope the reader makes the connection. The real fix is clarity. A strong resume reduces the reader's effort. It tells them what role you fit, where you have done similar work, what tools and situations you know, and what changed because of your contribution. That is what turns experience into interview evidence. If your resume is getting ignored, even though you know you are qualified, comment with the role you are targeting and the section you are struggling with most. You can also suggest the next topic, like recruiter screens, LinkedIn headlines, career gaps, or interview answers.